Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So if you want to see how I make my stuffed bell peppers, definitely stay tuned to the rest of the video.
Oh, this is me.
Okay guys, so to make my stuffed bell peppers, of course you would need some bell peppers that I believe I purchased from Walmart. You would need some ground beef, again purchased from Walmart. You would need some shrimps, some rice. You would need some breadcrumb, Italian style. You would need some chicken broth, and you would need some stovetop stuffing, chicken flavor. So first thing first guys, I'm washing off my bell peppers, and I'm just gonna only show you how I cut a few of them. I'm not gonna cut all of them on camera, but I just kind of cut them down the middle, so they can be deep enough to stuff them, of course. Then once I cut them down the middle, I then take the inside of the bell pepper out, which the part with the seed and stuff, so I remove that. You can use a knife, or as I'm doing, I'm using my hand to remove it because I'm so used to doing this meal. So once I remove all the inside and clean it out, I just pretty much rinse it off and I set them aside until I'm done with the other cleaning the other bell peppers. Okay guys, so now that I cleaned all the bell peppers, I'm going to take them, put them in a big pot of some water, and then I'm going to put them on the stove and let them boil for about maybe 20 minutes. And once I let them boil on the stove for about 20 minutes, we're going to move on to the next thing while the bell peppers are boiling. So now guys, we're gonna move to the ground meat. So to fry my ground meat, I'm gonna use some vegetable oil. I'm only gonna put enough in the skillet to cover the bottom of the skillet. And right now guys, we about to mix up the ground meat. I'm going to take my ground meat and put it into the bowl, and once we put it in the bowl, we're going to mix the ground meat and the shrimps. And as you can see guys, I wear gloves when I use or touch ground meat, because you know ground meat can be a little messy, so I suggest you do get some gloves. So right now guys, we're going to also throw the shrimps into the ground meat, and we're going to pretty much mix them all up. Now once we mix it all up, the seasoning that I will be using for this mix, I only use, I believe, one seasoning. I use the Zeta Ranch seasoning. So we're going to take the Zeta Ranch seasoning and we're going to put it into the ground meat and shrimp mix. So we're going to mix all that up. And once we mix all that up, guys, we're going to put it into our skillet and begin to fry the ground meat. Okay guys, so now we're putting the ground meat into the skillet now that the grease have gotten a little hot. So we're gonna put that into the skillet. Now guys, when you grounding your ground meat, you want to make sure that you continue to chop up your ground meat because you want it into bite-sized pieces. You don't want like lumps of ground meat. So you got to continue, as your ground meat is cooking, you want to continue to chop it up, stir it around so that it can cook evenly through the ground meat. Now guys, I did use beef ground meat. You can use turkey ground meat if you choose to, or whatever ground meat that you choose to. Now again guys, you want to leave this on the stove until it's completely brown. You don't want no raw ground meat, okay? So while that's grounding, we're going to move to the next step. And the next step is we're going to make some water for our rice. So we're going to put our rice on the stove. And we're going to put that pot on the stove to make some rice. Rice is easy. I'm hoping everybody knows how to make rice. We're going to put our rice on, let our rice cook. Then once our rice is done, we're going to start mixing everything up. Okay guys, so our rice is done. Next step, we're going to take the bell peppers off the stove, and we're going to drain the water from the bell peppers and strain them into a strainer. And once we're done straining them, we're just going to rinse them off in some cold water. As you can see, I lost a few of mine in the sink, but we're going to rinse them in some cold water. And after we're done rinsing them in cold water, we will put them into a pan to set them to the side while we mix up our stuffing to put in them. Okay guys, so right now we're at the good part. Right now we're about to get ready to make our stuffing. So far I put in the pot was the ground meat and the shrimps that I ground up in the beginning. So I put that in the pot. So next thing we're going to put in the pot is the stovetop stuffing. So right now we're putting the stovetop stuffing into the pot. Then we're going to put the rice in the pot. Now guys, I did make a lot of rice. I don't think I used all the rice. You don't need a lot of rice. You maybe can do maybe a cup of rice and that's it. And guys, I don't measure things, so again, excuse me if I didn't give any measurements, because I don't do any measurements because I'm so used to doing this. So after putting the rice in there, guys, I did put some bacon in there. I didn't show the bacon in the beginning because bacon is an option, and also adding any other meat that you want into your bell peppers is another option. Like this meal is good for a Thanksgiving meal, which is coming up, so you can always add ham chunks, you can add chicken, you can add turkey, you can add all that to your bell peppers. And right now I'm just crunching up my my bacon that I baked in the oven. So I'm crunching that up, and then I'm gonna begin to stir everything up just to get it all mixed up. Then once I stir everything up, guys, I'm gonna come back with that chicken broth, because you need that chicken broth to soften up those chunks that was in the stovetop stuffing. Okay guys, so now we're putting the chicken broth in there. Now it's totally up to you. You can get the low sodium chicken broth or the regular. I think I have the regular. And I'm gonna just pull that chicken broth in there. Again, I don't measure, guys. You could probably start off with a cup, but again, you want to put enough chicken broth in there to soften up those chunks that's in the stovetop stuffing, because those chunks come up in there, they're kind of crunchy and hard because they're like breadcrumbs, so you have to soften those up. Even if you put too much chicken broth, don't worry, because the breadcrumbs, once you put the breadcrumbs in, it's going to soak up all that chicken broth. So right now, guys, we're just stirring it up to get it all mixed up and get that chicken broth stirred in there to get all the chunks in there softening. Now, as you can see, I'll continue to pull the chicken broth into the stuffing to try to get it again moist and soft so that the chunks won't be so hard. So once I'm done stirring and getting all that done, I'm going to begin to pull my breadcrumbs in there. And again, the breadcrumbs are the Italian style breadcrumbs. And I pull that in there. Again, guys, I don't measure. I just pour it in there as I go. And once you pour it in there, that breadcrumb is pretty much going to soak up any extra chicken broth that you have left in there. Again, you don't want it too dry, guys, because the breadcrumb will make it dry. So you don't want it too dry. And if it does get too dry, again, you can always go back in and add more chicken broth to it. Now, guys, we're going to move on. We're going to begin to stuff our bell peppers. So we're going to begin to put our stuffing inside our bell peppers. And you guys, you want to stuff it till it's completely stuffed. You want to make sure every corner of your bell peppers has some stuffing inside of the bell peppers. So while I stuff these, guys, just watch me stuff them, and I'll be back with my last and final results that I do with these stuffed bell peppers. Okay guys, so now that we're done stuffing the bell peppers, we're gonna go in and put like chunks of butter inside of the bell peppers. Now, putting the chunks of butter in there is optional. It's something that I like to do. And again, guys, excuse me for my phone and the camera. I was recording on my phone for my TikTok. But anyway, so yeah, I go in there and put the chunks of butter in there. And after I put that in there, I top off my bell peppers with some breadcrumbs on top. And once I put the breadcrumbs on top, again, I'm still using the Italian style breadcrumb. I put that on top, and once I put that on top, guys, I put my bell peppers in the oven for about 20 minutes. And once I put in the oven for 20 minutes, they are done, guys. So definitely let me know if you enjoyed this video, if you like the way I make my bell peppers. Definitely give me a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video.